Hello friends, my name is Dhara Onadkat and today I am going to take this session of adverbs. By the end of this session, you will be able to understand definition of adverbs, type of adverbs and its technicalities. Adverbs. Let's have a look at the definition of adverb. An adverb is a verb that describes verb, or you can say it modifies verb. It also describes an adjective, or we can say it modifies an adjective, and also adverb. Adverbs even describe the whole sentence. Do you remember what is adjective? Adjective modifies noun. Well, why I am talking about adjective when I am teaching you adverb? We shall always remember adjective modifies noun, but adverbs modifies everything except noun. That means adverbs modify verb and adjective. Now let's have a quick look at the example. Isha is eating something. Here, eating is a verb. Now, to make sentence in another way, I shall add an adverb. Isha is eating something slowly. Slow is an adjective. Now, adverb is modifying adjective in this sentence. Slowly. After the word adjective, it has added ly. So, adverb adds ly to an adjective. So when the word ends with ly, it becomes adverb. But this rule is not same everywhere. We shall learn all the rules of adverb, how to make an adverb spelling in the next slide. But before that, let's take a look at what other things we are going to understand in this session. We are going to learn types of adverb. We are going to learn 5 types of adverb. Adverb of manner, adverb of time, adverb of place, adverb of frequency and adverb of degree. Let's learn everything one by one. So let's begin. Formation of adverb. Now in the last slide I have informed you that adjective plus ly is an adverb. But yes, I have even informed you not always. So let's see when not always. The first example shows an adjective plus ly. So we know that it's slowly. From the next example, we have to remember if the adjective word ends with double L, we should add y to it to make it an adverb. For example, in the third sentence or the third example, we can see there are 2 syllables. What are 2 syllables? When we have 2 same alphabets, it is called 2 syllables. For example, double N, double O, double P, double E. That shows or that says 2 syllables. Now here the word is happy. So HAPPY. In this I will read for you. 2 syllables adjective that ends with Y. You replace Y with the letter ILY. So at this point of time, after 2 syllables, if it is a Y, we have to remove Y and add ILY. Now let's have a look at the example. Next example is if the adjective ends with the consonant followed by LE. So if the word ends with LE, we have to see that LE is at the end of the word. Now we have to see whether the adjacent word to LE is a vowel or a consonant. You know AEIOU is a vowel, but we are talking about consonant here. Other alphabets are called consonant except AEIOU, right? So B is a consonant. So we have to now figure out that the word adjacent to LE should be a consonant, and if it is a consonant, we have to add Y at the end to make it an adverb. Now let's look at the next example. Adjectives that end in ly cannot be transferred by adding ly. Now it is very clearly written friendly. So why shall we add ly or why shall we remove ly? It should remain the same. And yes, one of the necessary or important thing is last example. It's not necessary that an adverb always end with ly. We have seen the other example, but yes, at times we need not change the word at all. We shall keep the word as it is, as they are adverb itself without the change of the formation. Let's have a look at the example. Very and never. These both words do not need to add or remove any alphabet from it to make itself an adverb. So I hope the rules are clear now. Now let's have a look at another slide. We have just started learning adverbs. We just came to know how to make a spelling of adverbs. Now how in the sentence we will be able to recognize which are the adverbs? Well, the answer is here. Adverb answer these kind of questions. Number 1. Where the action happened. The word answering where is an adverb. When did it happen? The word answering when is also an adverb. How did it happen? The word answering how is also an adverb. To what extent did it happen or how much, how often, how frequently it happened. The word answering that is also an adverb. Now let's have a look at our first adverb. Adverb of manner. Adverb of manner describes how and in what way the action denoted by a verb or is carried out by a verb. It answers the question how in the sentence. It tells us about some things happening. Its placement is usually near the main verb or an object. It shows that the placement of the verb of manner is usually somewhere around the main verb or an object. Another thing is, if you ask the question how in a sentence, the answer will be your adverb. Let's look at the examples. He quickly looked through the paper and granted the leave. Quickly is the manner of action which has been done by the person who is looking at the paper. They observe the patient carefully before giving discharge. Now, what they did before giving discharge? They observed the patient carefully. Now, carefully is an adverb. She talked with everyone in the room calmly. The conversation happened calmly. It's a manner how she talked with everyone. The board on the highway indicates drive slowly, diversion ahead. In which manner the driver is supposed to drive? The driver must drive slowly. It is important to write in your notebook neatly. How shall we write in our notebook? We shall write neatly. So the adverb of manner gives the answer of how in the sentence. Let's have a look at the words to help you to identify and learn adverb of manner. These are the list of words of adverb of manner. Have a look at it and try to remember these words. It will improve your vocabulary. Adverb of time. Adverb of time answers the question when. It tells us when an action happened, besides how long or how often the action happened. Let's have a look at the examples. Number 1. You have to submit the report of your presentation now. When shall the report should be submitted? Now. Sooner or later you will understand the truth. When the person will understand the truth? Sooner or later. I get constantly reminded by my boss to perform well for the better growth in the next financial year. When the boss reminds? Constantly. I go to the sports club to play squash occasionally. When he goes to the sports club? Occasionally. He seldom talks to anyone. He is a shy person. When he talks? Seldom. Seldom means sometimes, very less. In the next slide, you will get the verbs of adverb of time. Word list of adverb of time. You shall remember these words to improve your writing skills. Adverb of place. Adverb of place answers the question where. It tells you about where something happens. Let's have a look at the example. Number 1. You will find the labor union office the next door. Where is the labor union office? Next door. The same shoes is available elsewhere in other rates. Where the shoes are available? Elsewhere. I am going downstairs to check who is ringing the bell. Where the person is going? The person is going downstairs. The local shops nearby are offering huge discounts on all products. Where are the discounts? Nearby shops. There is a leopard behind the bush. Where is the leopard? Behind. These all words shows adverb of place. In the next slide, you will find the list of words for adverb of place. These are the list of words for adverb of place. Do remember this for writing skills. Adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency answers the question how often. We have to understand and remember one more rule. We do not use the word not with the words never and hardly as we use affirmative word with it. For example, we do not never go to the club. It's a wrong sentence. It's a wrong formation. Let's have a look at the right formation. We never go to the club. This is a right formation. So we shall not use never and hardly with the word not. Let's have a look at the adverb of frequency in the next slide with the help of example. Adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency denotes how often we do something or how many times we do something. We shall have a look at the example from the bottom. That is, let's begin from the bottom, that is never, and let's take the example to always. So let's begin. She never pays attention in class. Hardly. He hardly ever plays cricket. We are increasing our frequency of doing something as we will go upwards. Now let's have a look at seldom. He seldom does or goes for a walk. Occasionally. I occasionally find opportunity to visit my village. Sometimes. Sometimes teacher do not scold us for talking. Often. We often go to the restaurant. Normally I do not skip my prayers. Usually. He usually do all given work enthusiastically and always. Friends, the arrow shows prepare yourself. So we can say I always learn my grammar lessons from prepare yourself. Is it true? I think and I hope it should be. So I hope one by one you have learned the adverb of frequency. Adverb of degree. Adverb of degree tells us the strength or intensity of something happens. Many adverbs are gradable, that is, we can intensify them. Basically, they answer the question how much or how little. Now let's have a look at the examples. Number 1. The mindset of the students changes completely once they start playing team games. How much the mindset changes? Completely. Number 2. The weather here is extremely hot and humid. What is the intensity or how much is the intensity? It's extreme. The student did incredibly well in the project. How much well? Incredibly well. The food made by the villagers in Motel is highly recommended. How much recommended? Highly recommended. With proper planning, the business can grow enormously. How much the business can grow? Enormously. This shows degree of adverb. In the next slide, you will get the related words. Adverb of degree. You should remember these words and try to use as much as you can. Develop the word bank for better English. We have done with the 5 types of adverbs. Now I'm showing you this adverb chart so that you can understand adverb is much more than what we have learned. We have learned almost every important point, but still I wish to tell you few things. Let's start with reading the chart adverb, functions and modifiers. Under the functions heading, functions in sentence and adjuncts. What are adjuncts? I will tell you. Functions of sentence, conjuncts and adjuncts. I'll even tell you conjuncts. In the heading of adjuncts, place, time, manner. These are 3 types of adverb which we have already done. Modifiers, adjective phrase and adverb phrase. I try to inform you as much as I can. An adjunct adverbial is a word, phrase or a clause that modifies an entire clause by providing additional information about time, place, manner, condition, purpose, reason, result and concessions. So what is adjunct? Adjunct is a thing added to something else as a supplement rather than essential part. What is conjuncts? Conjuncts are when we join two words together. For example, how and ever makes however. Any and way makes anyway. These type of words are called conjuncts. Okay, then what is adverb phrase? A group of words built up by adverb by adding words before and or after it. An adverb phrase is simply a group of two or more words that functions as an adverb in the sentence. Just as an adverb cannot modify a verb, adjectives or another adverb, an adverb phrase of more than one word can further describe a verb, adverb or adjective. All these things what I have told in this slide will be available in writings in your next slide. You will be easily able to identify it with the definition in the next slide. This slide is basically for understanding in-depth English. All the definitions of the above chart is given here in the writing form. Just have a look at it. Try to understand it. It's very easy to understand. And let's remember this also for better future reference. In the last slide, we have learned conjuncts definition. Here I am giving you the list of conjunct words. It will help you to remember what is conjunct easily. Like irregular verbs, we even do have irregular adverbs. Have a look at the list of irregular adverbs and do remember these words also. They will help you. Friends, my name is Dhara Unarkat, and if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Prepare yourself. Have a blessed day.